Now, today we're going to be featuring a news article out of British Columbia here in Canada. And the article says a very isolated incident. BC dealership responds to complaints about electric vehicle purchases. I know I have been on the case of electric vehicles over the last couple of videos, but it is important that everyone needs to understand, and the information should be out, how our governments have mandated it that we have to drive electric vehicles going forward after 2035. So one or two things must be said, but at the same time, no, it has to be informative and entertaining, and we try to make it as funny as possible, but no pun intended. But this story only goes to show what can happen to you when you deal with dealerships and car dealers out there. Let's get into this video.
CTV News has received tremendous response to a story we aired about the purchase of an electric vehicle that was ordered and then seemed to disappear. More buyers have come forward unhappy with the service at a dealership on the Langley-Surrey border. As St. John Alexander reports, the company now vows to make things right.
Including the very truck they're in now. Dave Mellis and his wife Meredith say they bought at least a dozen vehicles from Dams Ford Lincoln. And up until recently, they considered it a legacy dealership.
Outstanding service from the service department and the sales department.
So when it came time to buy
So point number one I want to bring across here, after sales. After sales drives customer retention. Customer retention is what keeps customers coming back. And the story here has pointed out that they have bought over a dozen vehicles here and they keep coming back. And the dealership is a legacy dealership. So that goodwill has been built over a number of years. Now, a lot of other dealers concentrate on what you call BDC, Business Development Center, where they have a number of employees sit around and they will call customers in order to come back for regular maintenance service. So this is also another part of the strategy of dealerships utilizing customer retention actions. The only problem with BDC sometimes is that it can sound repetitive, calling the customers over and over and over. However, periodic reminders must be utilized.
electric van, that's exactly where they went. Contract signed, deposit down, the Ford E-Transit would be ready within a year.
And they gave us a VIN number and they said they haven't got it completed yet.
A VIN indicates the vehicle is being built. But months later, Dams Ford Lincoln was sold. The new management sent the couple an email. The van has not been built. So they went to the dealership to get their deposit back.
A young man at the counter said, "Oh, well, your van's on the way. Why do you want your deposit back?"
I said, well, that's funny because your manager told me the order had disappeared.
Don't have it, they can't find it, they've never seen it.
Brian Lopez tells a similar story. He says the Mustang he ordered and watched being built online was sold to somebody else.
And this happens sometimes, and we will get to the sometimes after a while, is that the dealership was sold, as the story stated. And what has been happening over the last 5 years is that all the smaller dealerships have been gobbled up by the large auto groups. And therein lies the problem with that personal touch. It's no longer there. And therein lies one of the problems. The dealership was sold. Over the last 5 years, large auto groups have been buying up all the smaller players in the market because the smaller ones, either the owner gets old, he can't be bothered with it, or the new management just basically don't have the experience to push the dealership forward or to the next level. So it is always easier to just jump ship and do a merger and acquisition based on how businesses operate these days. Things got array because someone dropped the ball here, not being able to go through all the existing transactions, pending transactions that have been taking place in order to make a smooth transition.
Both buyers say they ordered a vehicle. Then they were both told by the new owners there's a mistake, the vehicles don't exist. That's when they were offered a different vehicle at a higher price. Now, Dams Ford Lincoln was sold to Go Auto in August. The new owners assume all existing contracts and admit there was some confusion along the way, which it's now trying to fix.
And I would invite anyone across any of our locations, but specifically Dams Ford, with that transition that happened of ownership.
Like I said, someone dropped the ball. There was no internal audit done and all existing pending transaction to be sorted out, and then the communication be sent to all those customers who had deposits waiting on vehicles to identify exactly where their vehicles were and let them know exactly how the logistics were working out and what was happening along the supply chain.
If they feel like there's an issue that's unresolved or they have any concerns, I would personally love the opportunity to sit down with them, rectify any issues.
After CTV News aired the story about the missing Mustang, Go Auto got in touch with Lopez and found the car he wanted with a better battery at an agreeable price.
And this is called damage control, but it all works out well. Let's continue.
It's wrong because we have a written contract.
As for these longtime customers, Go Auto blames Ford, saying it just stopped making 2022 models.
I mean, is this standard practice that you may not get the car when you sign a contract and you put a deposit down?
So that is a possibility.
And he adds if the risks weren't properly explained, they will be going forward. Go Auto insists customer service is a core value, and it hopes to find a resolution for this couple too.
But the thing is, you have to also understand that usually when you pay for a vehicle for over a year prior, then with material cost, the cost of labor, the cost of everything, then the price is going to go up. It's just like escalation when doing real estate. Eventually, the price increase will take effect. However, if you are holding to a particular price on the vehicle, then you should be able to honor that price going forward. And with a mishap like this happening, then effective customer service should rectify that problem, or offering the customers some rebate or anything like that. But hopefully, I'm glad everything worked out the way it did. Now, Go Auto moved with the takeover very fast, and maybe the customer base wasn't informed, as I said before. So I would say that this is an isolated incident based on what the headline has says, and I will go with the dealership on this one. However, this should be a learning lesson for this dealership going forward, and that someone should take responsibility. And they did mention that Ford also messed up, because remember, new vehicle year model starts like between July, August of the current year for the following year. So maybe that allocation was long gone based on how everything else was. But there are no excuses, so everyone turned out to be happy, and hopefully Go Auto will learn and we move on. So let me know your comments below about this video. Remember to grab a copy of my ebook, The Parts Manager Guide. Please smash that like button on your way out. It will only take you 1.5 seconds to do so. Until next time.